And this is our little live event here, and I have Jan here with me, and we're going to be talking about food and how we all love to eat it, and it's a good thing.
That it is.
And what you eat is so important. And so she's coming over here with me, and I snatched her up for a little bit just to talk to you a little bit more about food. And it's a little warm in here. I need to. Yeah, a little bit. It's getting a little bit warm. But okay, we only got a few minutes though. We're going to chat with you just a little bit. I brought some interesting things out and to talk about a little bit. And I'm not the what would you call it? The master chef, or qualified, but I do know a little bit about food because I do enjoy eating it. And I do know that, which I have heard, this ugly banana.
I love her banana, don't you?
This ugly banana, very overripe, of course, is very good for you because, but you don't want to, I mean, you can't eat it now. If you peeled it, it would just go and fall over.
That's true. You need to put it in something.
Yes, it would be very good, though, in a smoothie. It's full of potassium. Very good for you. You get leg cramps, whatever's going on in your body. You need a potassium boost. Get you a really ripe banana and make a nice smoothie out of it. And that will be very good. Not that these aren't full of good potassium, too. But this has an excessive amount. Now, I know that Jan has had some experience with food. I know both of us, we were just talking about how we both were raised on a traditional sort of American diet where you eat lots of meat and potatoes. And you sort of have this type of diet, which is nothing wrong with that. But it's difficult when you're like in your late 40s when you start really getting introduced to things that are different, like avocados. I never ate avocado in my life for a lot.
No, I never did either. Didn't know they existed.
Yeah, I didn't. I was
wasn't on the plate.
Until I was much older and realized, wow, these are really pretty good. My husband got me into these. They're very tasty. And you can mix them, and they take on the taste of about anything that you mix with it, you know. So it's very good. What was I thinking? So I would like you to tell us a little bit more about a vegetarian diet.
Okay. I was, this was started years and years ago. It really wasn't by choice, but it was kind of what I learned. I had breast cancer, and I had the options to take a lot of chemo and radiation, and I decided to make food be my medicine instead of what the doctor had to order. So I got connected with a plant-based diet, which means basically you're eating plant food. So you're going to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, and a lot of raw fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
So I got started on that years ago and took a lot of things out of my diet, and 15 years later, the doctor says, well, it's glad to see you're still here, Jan.
Yes, that's
I'm
awesome.
not sure he thought I would be, but I am. I'm very healthy.
That's awesome. And so when do you just sort of cut out all meat? Basically,
I did. Cut
out all meat. I know that seems to be a great movement right now. A lot of people are saying, no, too much meat. I've been, if you read the papers, you read magazines, a lot of that is happening right now. And I think it's because we really have overdone it. I mean, with it considerably. I knew a gentleman years and years ago, it had to be 25 years ago, and every day he would walk from work and go to McDonald's and have a hamburger every day for like years. And finally, his stomach just couldn't take it anymore. And I think that, not saying that might be something for you, but you need to consider if you overdo too much meat, it really isn't a good thing for you.
Right. And you were asking about, excuse me, what I took out of my diet. There was more than meat.
Yes.
So I took out meat. Actually, you can think of white things I took out. I took out meat. When you think of chicken, it's kind of white. And I took out sugar.
Yeah, that's a big one.
And I took out salt. And I took out white flour. So there's 4 or 5 white things that I took out of my diet. And that's what really helped. Sugar actually feeds a lot of diseases in a bad way. So sugar's a biggie. And for a very short period of time, I was very careful of what fruits I ate that had sugar in them. So I was eating fruits that had less sugar because some of them are pretty sweet, which is good. But now I can eat them all again now that I'm healthy again. But for a while, I was super careful of sugar because cancer actually grows in sugar.
Yes.
So you want to be very sure that you cut down on your sugars if you're dealing with any kind of cancer, because it kind of feeds it.
Yes.
And it grows tremendously on sugar.
That's what I've heard a lot of people say, and that you really got to watch the sugar and be very careful. So a natural derivative, for years, everybody said this is a really natural derivative, or what, you know, alternative, that's the word I'm thinking,
Right.
to sugar, is honey, which is really good, and it's got your sweetness. Who was it I was talking to the other day about? Agave?
Agave.
Yes.
Agave comes from a plant. It
Yes.
looks like honey.
Yes.
It can either be a kind of a brown liquid like honey. It's a little bit more fluid than honey can be, or a light one.
Yes.
And to the best of my knowledge, I don't think, I've been told anyways, that it does not change your glycemic index.
Yes, that's what I heard
So
too.
it does not
It's really
upset
good.
your balance if you're dealing with diabetes and things like that.
Yes. That's good. Okay, so what else we got here? We're going to talk a little for a few minutes about coconut oil. That's another really good alternative, I would say. Lots of people are cooking their food in this. They're eating a spoonful of it.
Yep.
Very good for your mind and your heart. You want to keep those things, keep things rolling in your system. And this is a day and time we have a lot of people with heart issues. I would say,
so you want to be careful of your oils and your cholesterol, which we kind of all know.
Yep. Watch those oils and cholesterol, and then we got some spinach, leafy green spinach, which fresh is much better than in a can, I'm sure. Sure, but this is just an example for y'all.
Yep.
That spinach is very good for you. It will. It's got a lot of good vitamins in it. I never did like that either. But you can do things with, you can take things and change the look of it, whatever, how would I think it, change the way it looks, and add it into something else. And it will definitely, you still get the nutrients from it.
Yep.
And you'll still gain from eating it. Then just not just giving up because, oh, it don't look good. That don't look very good. I never did like eggplant. Stuff like that. But after I started cooking it and changing the way it looked pretty good.
Eggplant all depends on what you cook it with.
Yes.
In my experience.
Yeah, for sure.
You've got some seasonings and tomatoes in with it.
It's another one.
It adds a lot to it, but takes on the flavors.
Yes, it takes, and that's what you just got to really learn how to cook with things that can be a little bit bland, maybe, or doesn't have a lot of flavor. And you add the flavor, and boy, it takes on the flavor. It's very nice, very nice. But anyway, well, it's been good visiting with you, and thank you so much, and you hang with us, and hopefully I'll get Jan to come back and visit us again and talk some more about her experience. It'll be fun. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
Have a good day.
Bye.